Welcome to Joy Newsroom. I am Maame Thompson. In the next hour, the Electricity Company of Ghana to begin IPP debt payments by next week, as part of agreement reached on Friday.
Agreed on numbers across board for everybody, and everybody knows what they have to do and get back to us by the middle of the week. And when they do that, whatever needs to be credited to them will be credited to them immediately.
Meanwhile, a former finance minister said Tekpe is questioning why government is not sticking to the ESLA payment plan.
Problem that we brought onto ourselves, and I think that the government brought it to itself.
Also, these are the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Apia Amfo, has urged policymakers in the country to create an enabling environment for entrepreneurship.
Our policymakers must embrace innovation, create an enabling environment for entrepreneurship, and foster a culture of research and development as embodied in the works of His Excellency K.D. Sahasa.
And the Secretary General of the Building and Construction Workers Union of the TUC, Richard Asamoah Mensah, wants government to ensure companies operating in Ghana respect the laws governing labor rights in the country. There's many more stories coming up this hour. We'll be right back. The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, says it has reached an agreement to start paying independent power producers from next week. According to Managing Director Samuel Dubik Mahama, payments will start after the IPPs complete this side of the agreement. The Chamber of Independent Power Producers called off an intended shutdown on Friday after a fruitful meeting with government to get a 30% payment of their $1.73 billion debt. Here are excerpts of a statement issued by them suspending the planned shutdown.
Following fruitful engagement with the Electricity Company of Ghana, the IPPs have agreed to keep operating their power plants after July 1, 2023. As part of the understanding reached, all the IPPs have received an offer of payment from ECG to enable them operate in the interim, thereby providing the government of Ghana and ECG the needed grace period to address the outstanding arrears in the energy sector and to meet their contractual obligations. The IPPs are optimistic that this agreement reached will yield the desired outcome of providing a permanent resolution to the energy sector debt, failing which they will be left with no other choice than to revert to their earlier decision to shut down without any further notice.
Well, Managing Director of ECG Samuel Dubik Mahama has been spilling some details of the agreement on Newsfile a while ago.
ECG is seeing some level of growth now. It's seeing some changes in the way it's doing it's performing its duties. And through all of this, we believe strongly we can close a certain gap. There is evidence of that, and that's what we shared with the chamber. Through that, I don't want to go further because of some disclosure issues. We shared certain numbers with them for certain periods moving forward. So in effect, we've ring-fenced up to June debt. And we are trying to, as part of the World Bank conversation was, we would have to stay current moving forward. So we've ring-fenced that up to June. And then now we are going to make sure that from July going forward, we stay current based on some form of a negotiation that we had with them concerning how power is going to be dispatched and how the energy and capacity conversations have gone. So we have a very good working formula. Be that as may, let me clear this point. ECG is a unique company. It's unique because it cuts across 3 sections. At some point, the company is a social company. At some point, it's an operational issue. At some point, it's financial. So if you look at it from only a financial standpoint, great disservice. If you take each of them individually, great disservice. But the moment you're able to find a nice balance between the three, where everybody understands their role, guess what? It will not even be about the money.
Okay.
Because now I can say they've understood me to some extent, so maybe I can brag. But imagine if somebody throws at you and says, hey, X, Y, and Z, we are not going to move from there, even if you show them what it is, then it's not going to work. But at least after what they saw, they now see the new trajectory of growth, the new understanding, and the transparency. So that's the buy-in for us to be able to move forward now.
Right. So they had demanded that if you don't put down 30% of the 1.7 billion, they were going to shut down. What have you given them?
Would you be surprised if I said we've not given them anything?
Okay, they say there's an offer of payments.
So the truth of the matter is this, and again, it's about conversations. When there's uncertainty, there's panic. So until you are able to let the person calm down, give them the level of certainty they need to operate, they will always be panicking. So we've agreed on numbers across board for everybody, and everybody knows what they have to do and get back to us by the middle of the week. And when they do that, whatever needs to be credited to them will be credited to them immediately.
Well, a former finance minister said Tekpe has also been delving into the situation and says the debt crisis between government and the independent power producers is self-inflicted. According to him, the situation could have been avoided if government had remained faithful to the ESLA payment arrangements. He was speaking to journalists at the second EMISA Arthur Economic Forum at the University of Ghana.
When it comes to the IPPs and the state-owned enterprises that deal with energy, we found a solution to those arrears, and that was ESLA. In fact, part of the ESLA flows was to be used to resolve the problems of the IPPs. Because I'm not going to go into, who caused what and the rest, which we have been debating, but the arrears was there, right? We know today, and we started using it to, for example, tackle VRA debt. Why VRA? Because during the Doomsday crisis, it was VRA, because of the lack of supply of gas from Nigeria, they had to buy, crude oil at expensive prices to generate the power. The IPPs produced, they were not paid. So ESLA was to resolve that. And I have to say that if you look at the ESLA revenue that is coming, flowing, 33 billion Ghana cedis to date, and another 33 billion. And I'm quoting from the ESLA report. The goal of using ESLA to resolve those arrears should have been achieved. Of course, when I say 33 billion and 66, we also had the contractors element, enhanced road levy and the rest. So those arrears were to have been, paid, whether who caused it or not. What did we do? We collateralized it, right? And today, the flows are not even enough to pay for the loan, collateralization is the loan that we took, right? And we have found ESLA as part of the domestic debt restructuring. So this is the point I'm making, that we should just remain faithful to the goals and ideals. And remember, ESLA was debated in Parliament extensively, and it would have taken 3 to 5 years, including IPPs. So it's a problem that we brought onto ourselves, and I think that, the government brought it itself, and I think it is important that, we reach an amicable, solution.
Away from that, the founder of the African Center for Economic Transformation, Dr. Kingsley Yeboamwako, says Ghana must build a stronger, committed national consensus towards resolving its economic woes. It's also by changing the economic policy architecture of the country. He made the call at the second Kwesi Emisartha Economic Forum, also at the University of Ghana.
The second KB Emisa Arthur Economic Forum was used to celebrate and recognize the contributions of the late Kwesi Emisa Arthur to Ghana's economic frameworks. Chaired by the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Ampiamfo, the event was graced by the former President John Dramani Mahama, former Ministers of State, party stalwart, former vice-chancellors of the University of Ghana, spouse as well as children of the late vice president. Delivering the keynote address under the theme Economic Policy Making in Ghana, Lessons Learned and the Way Forward, head of African Center for Economic Transformation, ACET, Dr. Kingsley Yebuamwaku said despite Ghana experiencing relative economic growth in the last decade, lack of commitment towards economic transformation and inconsistencies in policy implementation remain the bane for Ghana's economic woes.
We came out of century with a consensus, but only among a privileged few. Between 2000 and 2020, Ghana has experienced 13 years of rapid growth, including years of very rapid growth. Despite the strong growth rate, its development has been marred by debt and energy crisis, large trade and fiscal imbalances, and a lack of long-term consistent planning.
Calling for a true national consensus building under the Compact for Economic Recovery, Dr. Mwaku further urged policymakers to boost labor and productivity using technology as central pillars in policy formulation and implementation.
Another consensus is needed, but this time it needs to be a true national consensus, broader, with more stakeholder input and buy-in, especially among the youth, women, and civil society. Improve competitiveness in global markets, boost productivity, especially labor productivity, upgrade technology across industries, and improve human well-being.
Explaining the 2050 Ghana We Want Compact for Economic Recovery to the press on the sidelines, Associate Professor at the Department of Economics, University of Ghana, Professor Thompson, called for improved investment in a country's infrastructure as incentive for the private sector.
The transformation would come with investment, and that is what we need our governments to commit themselves to, investing in that critical investment. And that cannot be done by just one government. We need a continuous focus on building the infrastructure that we need to develop our economy. And if our governments, our two parties commit to a compact, for instance, it is supposed to guide them to be answerable to us.
Meanwhile, a former finance minister, Setekpe, said while there is the need to intensify consensus building, having a homegrown counter-cyclical policies alongside IMF programs would help change the country's economic fortunes for the better.
But you don't build consensus just around the two political parties. So I think that we just need to intensify our efforts. But as a country, we need to have our own, what you call, counter-cyclical policies. It doesn't mean you should ignore the fund. No, we are members of the fund, and they are established to help countries. But at least for minor crises, minor difficulties, we should be able to build our own structures.
To immortalize his contributions, the family of Emisa Arthur has instituted an annual award to recognize deserving students at the Department for Economics. 2 of such students received recognitions for their sterling performances. From the Department of Economics at the University of Ghana, my name is Carlos Caloni for Joy News.
Well, at the same forum, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Ampia Amfo, has urged policymakers in the country to create an enabling environment for entrepreneurship. She said embracing technology through research will lead to ultimate development and economic prosperity.
Our policymakers must embrace innovation, create an enabling environment for entrepreneurship, and foster a culture of research and development as embodied in the works of His Excellency KB Emisa Arthur. Additionally, we must strengthen our institutions and improve governance systems to enhance policy implementation and accountability, transparency, building trust and confidence among investors, facilitating public-private partnerships, and attracting foreign direct investment. By enhancing governance framework and combating corruption, we can create a conducive environment for sustainable economic growth. Let us honor the memory of the late Vice President, His Excellency Kwesi Emisa Arthur, by committing to the pursuit of excellence in policy making. Let us learn from the lessons of the past and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead.
The Secretary General of the Building and Construction Workers Union of the TUC, Richard Asamoah-Mensah, wants government to ensure companies operating in Ghana respect the laws governing labor rights in the country. He says the practice of companies preventing their workers from joining labor unions to fight for their rights is becoming rampant, and something needs to be done about that urgently. His comments come in the wake of the 3 union leaders who were allegedly dismissed by Senon Asogli for their roles in unionizing workers of the company. Mr. Asamoah-Mensah is blaming some lawyers for their roles in companies preventing workers from unionizing. He spoke to Kojo Brace.
There are some Ghanaian lawyers, I'm not saying all the lawyers, some lawyers in Ghana here who are helping them come out with all these things. And we can mention them, honestly. We have them, and we are saying that the worker joining the union is not a problem to management. It is for him to know his right. So as a worker, if you are talking of right, then why is it that we want to entrench on the rights of the worker? This is what we are speaking against. And we want those 3 workers to be reinstated. It's not about the money. If it is the money, then there other companies will be doing the same. As such, you go or have the power to do what. But we are saying that the right thing must be done.
But we are a country of laws.
Yeah.
So if the law court says, okay, if we reinstate them, it will affect the harmony of the company. I mean, the cooperation in the company. Let us just compensate them and move. You are saying that you won't accept that?
Oh, we won't accept that because we, in giving them the money, does that mean that their right has not been adhered to? It's not all about money. It's about doing the right thing. This is what we are saying. Now, the worker has not caused any harm at work. He was elected as an executive of the organization. And per that, you have just told him to go because you don't want the union. If we are to allow this to go on, that if the law comes out, that the lawyers comes out, that it is ruled that, okay, these people must be paid and they should leave. If this happens to these people, it is going to continue in other organizations. They're going to do the same. It will wonder you to know. It will wonder you to know that even the remaining executives there can also be laid off and they will pay their money. And it's not what we are talking about. We are talking about the rule of law, which allows the right to be adhered to. Okay. So this is what we are saying is our stand, and we believe that the president will take a bold decision and a bold stand on that. They are only giving him headache. You see, some of these people, expatriates who have come, don't want to adhere to the laws of the country, and this is what we are against.
So, what is the way out of all of these issues of companies not wanting people to unionize and the aftermath of all of those actions?
There will be confusion if they don't want the members to be unionized, because we are also a body which controls the workers. So, if you don't want them to have their rights, what do you think is, you always bring confusion upon your end. But if you allow the union to come, we are not enemies. We don't come to bring confusion at your end. We are there to deliberate on important issues pertaining to the wellness of all of us. So, like I said, others have joined and they've seen the importance of unionism. So if they also join, after all, it is the worker who even contributes at the end of the month, certain small percentage. And we make sure that the right thing is also done. There are instances workers who will even not do the right thing. And the union will come out and prove to them that you've not done the right thing, of which management has a right to punish you or to do the right thing for you. So the union isn't an enemy. We are social partners to management, and they should make sure that workers unionize. This is what we are saying. I'm mentioning UNICEM because workers there have shown interest. UNICEM in Kumasi Bojawe, workers have shown interest to join the Construction and Building Material Workers Union. Management is saying no. There was a time. We have evidence to whatever we are saying. Now, come to Top International, the same thing. Come to Shine Force. What is happening in our economy? Why? Allow the worker to have his freedom. But in the end, if that does not happen, that means you want to infringe on the rights of the worker. And this is what we are against. We don't want it.
So what is the way out?
The way out is that management should adhere to the workers to join the union. They should have voice. And by the law, they have the right to join. They should give way for the union to unionize them. If the workers have unionized, They should allow them to come and sit down, negotiate with them, have fairness in whatever we are doing, so that there will be peace and harmony in the economy. Otherwise, they will also not see peace. We will make sure we reach them wherever they are and get them unionized. This is what we are saying.
Now, the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, Professor Wisdom Akpalu, says the country has no idea about the extent of damage being caused to the environment as a result of illegal mining and mining in general. Speaking at his inaugural lecture, Professor Akpalu stated that the country has a weak bargaining system with the mining companies and the development will greatly affect Ghana's unborn generation. He implored on government and successive ones to ensure judicious use of the country's resources so the unborn generation does not suffer unjustly. There's more on this report.
Speaking at his inaugural lecture on the theme, The Complexities of Managing Natural Resources in Developing Countries, Professor Wisdom Akpalu intimated that the country is exploring its natural resources at the expense of the environment.
If we are extracting natural resources, both renewable and non-renewable, we have to ensure that any damage that results from extracting the resource will have to be accounted for. We have to account for all the externalities. If a mining company comes and says, I want to extract gold, okay, fine. What are we going to lose because we are now extracting the gold? Okay, this water is going to be polluted. How much is that pollution worth? We did a study that showed that those that live closer to the mining site, they spend a lot on their health. They have to go to the hospital more. They have more, suffer from more, respiratory disorders, etc. All those have to be valued and accounted for before you allow the mining company to go there and mine. If a fishing company wants to fish in our waters and the type of gear they are going to use will destroy the benthic floor of the ocean or will alter the biological, the ecological system of the ocean, you have to account for all the damages before you allow that type of activity to go on. I think it's very, very important that when it comes to natural resources, we should encourage the nationals of the country to invest in the extraction of the resource. Because at the end of the day, you don't get anything if there's foreign investment in your extraction of your resource. So we could, for example, form companies, float shares, and let individuals invest in mining gold. So that instead of one big mining company coming from somewhere, extracting the gold and giving you 5%, the company will be owned by us. Even if government pays 5%, the rest of the money will be spent within the domestic economy.
The Dean of the School of Graduate Studies and Research called on government and successive ones to ensure that the resources are used for very good purposes and not on selfish ends.
When we get the resources, when we even get the revenue, the little we get, we misapply it. We buy a lot of cars. We spend it as if there is no tomorrow on consumption, rather than developing other forms of capital, rather than building good schools, training our children, giving them the best education, training them in how to use technologies so that tomorrow they can use that knowledge to build bigger things. We rather spend the money on consequent consumption. We build houses, big houses, 13-bedroom houses.
He was upbeat that if the level of destruction being caused in the exploration of the country's resources is not checked, Ghana may lose gravely. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejanyako, Accra.
And the president of the Ghana Greater Accra Markets Association, Mercy Afro-Anijan, has called for the involvement of market associations in critical national planning to help build efficient food ecosystem. Madam Mercy Nijan says market women play a critical role in the economic ecosystem, especially agriculture and food value chain, so must not be left out in critical planning processes. She made the call at the 4th Annual National Precision and Quality Control Conference. Yes, more in this report.
According to Madam Mercy Afro-Anijan, President of the Greater Accra Markets Association, market women play a critical role in the economic ecosystem, especially in the agriculture and food sustainability value chain. Yet, They are often ignored in deliberations regarding the value chain contributing to the gaps in the system. She says there is the need for market associations to be involved now.
Let me tell you, it's not like that. We have people in the market that are graduates, teachers, nurses. I, for instance, I was a teacher before coming into the market. So whatever they do, whatever decision they take, please, they must involve us. Because we have our methods and we also have our mindset, what we want. Maybe those in the offices, we don't want what they do, but we have a method that we can use to accept what we want.
Founder and CEO of DTI, Constance Elizabeth Swanika, on her part, said the theme for this year's conference is significant considering Ghana's current economic challenges.
So today's conference is the fourth of the Precision Quality Conference, where we bring together all our various stakeholders to really discuss issues around what the gaps are around job creation in the country. Present here today, we have 4 vice chancellors. We have the president of the Greater Accra Regional Markets. We have captains of industry, policy makers, to really discuss, for me, what is the missing link around job creation. And I think the issue around why the average Ghanaian worker is unable to do things to meet international standards, it's not a matter of, just the usual talk, but what will action to really take the job creation agenda to the next stage. And so today's conference is really to discuss those issues.
Karen Obin's report, read to you.
A pro-fishing organization, One Ocean Hub, says it is developing a database to help gather enough data on Ghana's fisheries industry. According to the organization, this will help in the ocean governance systems in the country. There's more in this report.
Speaking at a training and capacity building workshop on ocean governance for maritime law enforcement agencies as part of the project deliverables under the One Ocean Hub project, country lead of One Ocean Hub, Professor Kofi Nyakon, indicated building data systems for the fisheries industry has become crucial for the industry.
What we try to do is to come up with a geometa database. That means the data about data, where to be housed, either the Fisheries Commission or EPA. And colleagues could log in, or institutions could log in and find out who has the data. Because most institutions have data, but they've not been able to catalog them in a way that will be meaningful to various institutions. So what we need to do, what we are doing as a One Ocean Hub with University of Cape Coast, is to generate this geometa database whereby all information about data in institutions will be housed, so that when you need any form of data, you would go into the geometa database, look out for who is the owner of the data, and now you will have to communicate, because the data will not be housed in one institution. If Fisheries Commission is having a data, EPA is having data, University of Cape Coast, Forestry Commission, other institutions, they have data, definitely they'll keep the data. But we'll have the geometa database to link you to those institutions. That's what we want, because currently we don't have such a system within the country. But with the One Ocean Hub project, we'll be coming out with such a system whereby individuals will know where to get their data from.
The project aims at supporting vulnerable groups in Africa and small island developing states who, according to the United Nations sources, face the greatest challenges to prevent and mitigate negative development impact connected to the ocean, participate in traditional and emerging ocean activities, and predict the socio-economic benefits of ocean conservation. Lead training and partnerships at the Center for Maritime Law and Security Africa, Nelson Atanga Ayamdo, stated how the capacity building and training will help the actors in the industry.
And this workshop is not seeking to advocate for more laws. It is, first of all, to even conceptualize and enlighten and build the capacity of participants with what we already have. Now, there's enough, but the problem has been mostly an issue about enforcement. And in order to enforce, you need to know. In order to enforce, you need to know what the issues are. So the workshop is meant to do that. At the end of the day, there's some other aspects that will advocate for more inclusion and review and all that. But for this one, it's a workshop to build the capacity and to share the findings of the One Ocean Hub.
One Ocean Hub says it is imperative to develop innovative and effective ways of helping vulnerable groups in Africa and small island developing states to create and implement proper ocean governance strategies. The project is being implemented by the University of Strathclyde Centre for Environmental Law and Governance in the UK in collaboration with the University of Cape Coast in Ghana and supported by UK Research Innovations Global Challenges Research Fund. Richard Kwejenya, Joy News, Accra.
This is Joy Newsroom. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. Now, exhibitors at this year's Made in ECOWAS exhibition are expecting a final boost in patronage for their products as today marks the final day of the outdoor event organized by the Ghana Export Promotion Authority and UNIDO and the ECOWAS Commission. The event is expected to promote Made in Africa products and increase market access for such products in the continent's free trade area. Ebenezer Sabote of Joy Business is at the grounds and is joining us live for an update at the exhibition. Ebenezer, what can you tell us from where you are?
I can report that there are a lot of, made in African products here, from food products, skincare products, basic health, and a whole lot. I have some of the people here who have been explaining to me earlier that since the day they have started, that's 3 days ago, it has been going on well. But I would like us to engage some of them to see how they are taking advantage of this opportunity to sell their products to the African market. Mind you, it's not only Ghanaian products that are here. There are products from, a lot of African countries like Lagos. There's a product from Kenya here, which I tasted some. There's a product from Guinea and some other African countries, all geared towards promoting made in African products. And as you indicated earlier, for the continental free trade area and others. So I have some of the people who are exhibiting their products here who I would like to engage. Hello, Big Boss. Welcome to Joy News.
Yeah.
Yes, your name and your product.
Yeah, I'm Ishmael Boafo, the CEO of Cops Farms Ghana Limited. We are an agribusiness firm located in Somanya. We are into general farming and we do add value to our products. So we do some drying of fruits and juice from our produce.
Okay, so it's been 3 days so far. How has it been for you guys?
Oh yeah, we've got quite some patronage here. We've made new connections, we've got potential buyers who would like to deal with us after this program. So I will say it's good we came here and we are doing some sales.
Are these products only for the local market, or you also export?
No, we actually do fresh fruits exports, fresh mangoes, fresh pineapples, as you can see being displayed here. Our value-added products too are intended for the export market as well.
So is this market, the kind of platform you want for the kind of goods that you deal in?
Yes, actually we want the local people in Ghana to know about what we are doing. It's the first step to marketing. The people around you, if they accept what you do, I think it's good before you even go beyond the boundaries of the country.
Thank you very much. So I can see some of the products here. There are mango juice, pineapple juice, and there's another joint here which is Ohu Farms. I think this place is just for agro foods. Let me talk to my sister here to tell me what they have. Hello and welcome to Joy News.
Hello.
Tell me your name and what you do here.
My name is Femi, and we have pineapple jam. They are in varieties. We have pineapple and ginger, pineapple and passion fruit, pineapple and hibiscus, and pineapple only. Yeah.
So where can we locate your company if we want?
We are in between Nsawam and Ebri. There is a town called Fotobi. Yeah.
Are your products only for the local market or you do export?
We export them. We do export.
How has it been for you guys since the day you started this exhibition?
It's normal. They are patronizing, but not too much. I would say that.
But today being the last day, what was the expectation?
We are expecting them to come and patronize. That's it. We are really waiting for them to come.
So in case after this exhibition, I want your product, where do I go? Where can I locate you?
To call our numbers, we will deliver. We have fresh pineapples too. Fresh pineapple. Naturally, pineapples are in types. We have MD2, sweet cayenne, and sugarloaf. We have all of them. Yeah.
Thank you very much, madam. I'll come here again to test some of the products. And over here is a skincare product. I have another sister here who is also dealing in skincare products, MGL Naturals. And I'd like us to engage her to see how the exhibition is going on so far for her. Hello, my sister. You are welcome to join us. Can you tell us what you do here and the kind of products on display here?
Okay. Hi, this is MGL Naturals. So we do organic cosmetics for hair and skin. We use coconut oil and shea butter in most of our formulation. So we have our coconut oil and shea butter hair food. It's an amazing hair food for hair growth, for treatment. If you want your hair to be soft combed, very moisturized, this is the hair food we recommend for you. We have various ranges of body butters made from cocoa butter and shea butter. We have black soaps also made with cocoa butter and shea butter. We actually infuse it in our black soap, the shea butter and the cocoa butter. We have cold pressed oils. They are so safe you can even consume them. Neem, castor, virgin coconut oil, which you can also cook with, use for hair and for skin. Very great for hair and skin. And we have shea butter oil. We have various shampoos and conditioners, safe for kids, safe for adults, both men and women. Our products are 100% natural and completely safe, from a day born to an older person, both men and women, for your beard, for your hair. We also do the raw product. That would be the raw African shea butter, the raw African black soap, the raw cocoa butter, which you can cook with, which you can also use for your hair and for your skin. We manufacture in bulk, so no matter the quantity you need, we can give to you.
Okay, so it's been 3 days so far. How has it been for you? What's your assessment of the exhibition so far?
It's picking up. It's going well. Today the turnout is better than the previous day, so we are hoping to see more improvements as we go.
What's your expectation?
I'm hoping that sales improve, sales get better, but we've been here and so far it's been okay.
Is it a program that you would like to participate in again whenever it happens?
Yeah, definitely. We'll participate when next it happens.
Thank you very much. So we move to another skincare product, which is So Beauty by Faith. They are into all sort of assorted skincare products, soap, creams and stuff. We have the owner here, or the CEO herself here, who would like to engage to see how business is going for her. Hello, Mama. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Tell us how it has been for you so far.
Not as expected. We haven't had that many people coming, but it's been good to just exhibit the products. I've had the opportunity of giving my cards away to people, so we hope that in future something good will come out of it.
Such an initiative by the Ghana Export Promotion Authority and ECOWAS, I mean, is it what you need for your products?
Yes, definitely. Wacom has been, exceptionally good to me, and I'm very happy with them and with GEPA as well. So this is a good initiative. It's just that the outcome hasn't been as expected, but just the opportunity to exhibit is good enough.
Today being the final day, any expectation?
Well, we're hoping that today will be better than yesterday. As yesterday was better than Thursday, so we live in hope.
Sure. Thank you very much, madam. So is it a skincare product? I think, yes. So
Beauty.
Okay. What's the name of the company?
It's Raw Beauty.
industry? What do you do? Or what kind of
We use raw oils and butters to turn them into soaps and body products. So we don't really add synthetic surfactants that the normal, like the normal shower gels in the market. So these are all pure oils turned into soap. This is cocoa butter soap, shea butter soap, then coconut oil soaps, and they work very well and they are very mild on the skin too.
Has the exhibition met your expectations so far? It's been 3 days.
We've been hoping that, we thought today would have been a very vibrant day, but still we haven't seen much people here, so we are hoping that by the end of the day everything will.
Do you have any juicy packages for your customers, those who would like to come to your stand?
Yeah, when they come, since today is the last day, we've reduced the prices so they will be able to afford. And we also have samples here that we'll give to them for them to try. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's move to another table, which I think is also a beauty and skincare products. Madam, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News.
Good afternoon.
What do you have here? Tell us briefly about them.
This is Bellstar range of products. We have dandruff shampoo, conditioner, we have leave-in, we have anti-itch scalp spray, we have body oil, we have one of the best detangling leave-ins you can find on the market.
And that was my colleague Ebenezer Sabote at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly forecourt, where there's an exhibition of African products being organized by ECOWAS. Now, the International Monetary Fund criticism that Ghana's free senior high school policy has caused learning outcomes has been debunked by the Minister of Education. Dr. Yao Duchum contends the recent results in the West Africa Senior High Certificate Examination is evident of the positive impact of the policy. He emphasized the government's policies in teacher incentive grants is to mitigate challenges of the policy and improve performance. Clinton Yabwa has the following.
Ghana has entered into several programs with the IMF to address physical imbalances, structural reforms and macroeconomic stability. In the recent deal, the IMF indicated the country's flagship free SHS program, which covers the full cost of secondary education, has helped increase enrollment but is poorly targeted. Education Minister Dr. Yao Duchum, speaking at the launch of the 60th anniversary of Kumasi High School, acknowledged concerns raised against the free SHS policy.
And for all those who thought that increasing enrollment at the high schools would diminish learning outcomes, I have news for you. Increasing enrollment did not diminish learning outcomes. And if you doubt it, look at what has happened at Kumasi High School. So when you hear people talking about, no, the free senior high school is rather hindering academic performance, tell them that is not the case. Go and look at the WAEC results and it will tell you that we have the best learning outcomes in this country last year. The last 8 years, the best result was 2022 results. If you increase enrollment, you are more likely to increase class sizes. And when you increase class sizes, teachers are not able to work with the students well. Ghana was able to do this because when we remove the cost barrier, we get students going to school in a timely fashion. So we have more contact hours for our students because they go to school early. In addition to that, as part of the free senior high school, we created an incentive grant program. So teachers are giving extra money to provide extra support. That was not the case before free senior high school. In addition to that, we ensure that every student has core textbooks. That was not the case before free senior high school.
The 60th anniversary of Kumasi Senior High School has been themed 60 years of holistic education in a safe school environment. What next? The occasion assembled old students who are excelling in various fields. The launch is to usher in a year-long activities to celebrate the school's 60th anniversary in 2024. Old students would reflect on memories, network and discuss policies to improve the conditions of the school. Chairman of the anniversary's planning committee, Reverend Peter Usumensa, employed the government to tackle problems crippling the free SHS policy. He reviewed plans to elevate a school's sports complex to improve and nurture sports talents within the institution.
I congratulate the government for introducing the SHS system that has opened doors for people who had no hope of going to school to have the opportunity to study. And it's a laudable idea, but we also want him to look at the various problems or the challenges they are encountering, especially with their feeding and then with the textbook issues. We pray that the president and the team will work towards that. The school needs now is a sports complex, because for some time the students have been training at Pajo for their various athletics and other things. So we've resolved to give them an ultra-modern sports complex that consists of a pitch, a track, changing room and a sitting area. And that will cost us around 11.3 million Ghana cedis. But we trust in God and the old boys.
Education Minister Dr. Yao Seiduchum is entreating universities that have been tasked with the duty to train the country's teachers to redefine their distance education programs. Speaking at the commissioning of a training resort and conference center of the University of Cape Coast in Agona Nyakrom, the Education Minister stated that teaching and learning in the distance education program must improve for the training center to succeed. There's more on this report.
At the commissioning of the University of Cape Coast Training Resort and Conference Center in Agona Nyakrom in the Central Region, the Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Seiduchum, mentioned that the university needs to re-evaluate its distance education program to address its shortcomings.
University of Cape Coast have to begin to take a serious look at your distance education programs. I'm not going to say more about that. Go and check your pass rate with the National Teaching Council before you give yourself accolades, University of Cape Coast. I'm not going to say it publicly, but I've already hinted. Let us strengthen the rigor of our distance education programs. This is a beautiful facility, and if you're going to offer any courses here beyond using this facility as a training center, make sure you improve the quality of teaching and learning, so that when they enter our classrooms, they also do their best for us. The President, through his initiatives, have brought about a 4-year teacher preparation program, a bachelor's degree to even teach kindergarten, which means the quality.
He indicated that for the success of the training center, teaching and learning must be improved. He also highlighted the President's initiative, which includes a 4-year teacher preparation program. The minister also mentioned that the ministry was working together with the Ghana Education Service to ensure that public schools in Ghana become the best in the world and attractive to all.
At the Ministry of Education, our focus is very clear. We want to make sure, under the leadership of the President, we create a more robust public education regime, from primary school all the way to senior high school to the universities. We want to make sure that parents who send their children to private schools do that as a matter of choice and not because they don't have a choice. I want to ensure that our public schools become the best in the world. Our public schools deserve to become better, and together with the Ghana Education Service, we ensure that we transform our primary schools. We have some work going on under GALLOP, Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes Project. Under that project, we are providing extra financing for schools through learning grants beginning next month.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Johnson Yakubuampong, indicated the measures that have been put in place by the university to improve teaching and other academic activities.
As Vice Chancellor, my vision is to reposition the University of Cape Coast as a global hub of creative thinkers offering demand-driven programs integrated with practical entrepreneurial courses, and actively translating the products of its innovative research for sustainable development. I must say that the Training and Research Center is not merely a brick-and-mortar structure. It symbolizes the commitment of the university to holistic education, industry, relevance and sustainable development.
The chief of Agona Nyakrom, Okofo Oketechi Nyakweku III, in his speech appealed to the minister to help renovate old schools in the community.
Head of Internal Medicines at the Whole Teaching Hospital, Dr. Yao Asante-Wuku, is calling on private and corporate entities to support the hospital as they seek to expand the needs of their teeming patients. He made the call when the latest foam company handed over 50 mattresses to the hospital.
Latest Foam is one of the country's leading manufacturers of foam products. As part of their corporate social responsibility, the company handed over mattresses worth over 26,000 to the Whole Teaching Hospital. The donation is aimed at supporting the hospital's efforts of expanding to meet the needs of their ever-growing attendees. Public Relations Officer for Latex Foam, Gifty Ekrecha Apia, who handed the mattress to the hospital authorities, is hopeful the donation will go a long way to improve the work of the hospital.
We are presenting 50 pieces of medium-high density mattresses to Whole Teaching Hospital upon a request they brought to us requesting these items. For us, the fact that we have a social responsibility agenda bordering on health, sports and some other social lines, we thought it wise that it was falling right within the frame. And so it's important for us to do this just so that we can help the region as it is. We know that the teaching hospital has been upgraded recently, and it's actually there to help support the university in the area, and so we're glad that we're able to give them these items to help with their work.
Head of Internal Medicine at the hospital, Dr. Yao Asante-Wuku, who received the items on behalf of the hospital, expressed gratitude to the company and also called for more support from individuals and corporate organizations to help meet the hospital's needs.
We're really grateful that they responded promptly to our request. We asked for some mattresses so that we can expand patient care, we can expand admission, we'll be able to take care of more people. As you know, the Whole Teaching Hospital is the only teaching hospital serving the Volta region, the OT region, and part of the Eastern region. And there's a lot of pressure. There's a need for actually expansion. So this is actually going to go a long way to support patient care at the Whole Teaching Hospital. For me, I know healthcare is a shared responsibility, and this is what Latest Foam has actually demonstrated today, to support healthcare when it comes to Whole Teaching Hospital. We want to ask other partners, be it private or state, to support us when we come to them. We'll be coming to most places to ask for some help to help our teaching hospital grow as well.
Prince Kwame Kudiga's report read to you.
Now to the National Science and Maths quiz. It's expected that most seeded schools from the Ashanti region would cement their stance as a fiercest side during the Ashanti Regional Championship. But in exciting turn of events, some giants from the region, including St. Hubert Senior High School, Adventist Senior High School, Bantama Osei Tutu Senior High School, have fallen at the feet of some lesser-known schools. Emmanuel Bright Kweku brings us highlights from the first day of the Regional Championships ongoing in Kumasi.
Kumasi High School has so far been the only school that have seeded. They are seeded in the national championship, and they've been able to cement their stance as the school, the only seeded school. So far, we've had some 3 seeded schools who have not been able to qualify to the semi-final stage of the Ashanti Regional Championship.
I feel so happy, so glorious, happy. I feel so, come and join me, come and join me. Very happy, very happy. This is the school, the only school in Ghana, the only school, the only school.
So what should prepare Opoku and then?
Oh, this is a warning. It is a straight warning. Yeah, we are preparing again. We are preparing again.
KSTS, Kumasi Santasi Trotro Station. They can't fight us. Even 3 of Kumasi High School students can unite around Kumasi KSTS campus. As our motto goes, to conquest. We came to conquer and we have conquered.
After all, Kumasi High School is the only high school in the world. I swear to God.
Osei Tutu Senior High School, unfortunately, they have been kicked out from the Ashanti Regional Championship. They were kicked out by Sims SHS. Sims, Sims. All right, so you are Einstein.
This time around, we're on heat. We are not afraid of anybody. It's what we've done right now shows that, in fact, it doesn't matter if we're exceeded or not. We will show up in the nationals very soon. And every name.
Wow. Every name. The names. I want to know the names of the schools.
Legon, the PC, the UAS. You know, you can mention the big guys. You know them. These
are the fancy women. The rest, they will bow down.
They will bow down. Trust me.
They will bow down to the name Einstein or what?
They will bow down to Sims.
Just about now, we've seen St. Hubert's being kicked out by Konongo Odumasi Senior High School. Konongo Odumasi Senior High School were actually trailing them by some 6 points at the end of the first round, but they managed to inch closer, and at the end of the second round they came with just 1 point behind them, and then today they are leaving here as champions, beating St. Hubert Senior High School with some 6 points. During the speed race, especially the biology questions, bow and then you just pick it. We don't even finish with the statements and you are done. Are you the speed god race we are going to see this year?
Oh, but I would say for this year, the speed is going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
Okay, so Prempeh College, the other schools, watch out. He's the speed god you do not want to miss.
Like, we came behind, and I think because they started from that's why we were fumbling. But by God's grace, we were able to come back into the game, and we had this against them.
Disciples.
No size.
Hey, your film is down. Disciples.
No size.
Disciples.
No size.
Disciples.
No size.
So these are the students from Kumasi Anglican Senior High School. They just kicked out Adventist SHS from Bantama. It appears to be a losing streak for most of the seeded schools so far. We are having St. Hubert's leaving the Ashanti Regional Championship. We also had Osei Tutu Senior High School also leaving, and then just about now we are seeing Adventist SHS Bantama also leaving the Ashanti Regional Championships.
This contest is just Farmers League. This is just a Farmers League for us. Yes. No. They can't compete with us. No Prempeh this year, no OAS this year, no high school this year. This year is for supercars, disciples, no size.
Okay, so that's a student from Kumasi Anglican. He says this year it's neither for Prempeh College or Pokuwari School, even Kumasi High School. The trophy is not going to either of these camps, and it's going straight into supercars. You call them the yogurt family. That is where this year the trophy, the Ashanti Regional Championship, is going to settle. From here in Kumasi, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
And over here is Maame Thompson. That's a wrap from us here at the Joy Newsroom.